Hey guys, before we start, I needed to clarify something that might be confusing. In the first episode, the banner on the video said anime yeah or nay, when it should have read anime yay or nay. I can't really go back and correct it now, so in case there's any confusion going forward, this podcast is called Anime Yay or Nay, and will be titled as such. Thank you, and now on to the show.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, we're back again this week after watching episodes 4 through 6 of Ergo Proxy. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm hot for justice.
And I'm Cheapy Noob.
Before we get too into it, I probably put this like as a visual detail thing on the last episode, but I did when we recorded, I did get some stuff wrong. Yuri Lowenthal, voice of Sasuke, is not the voice of Vincent.
No, Liam O'Brien.
Yeah, that's Gaara. Sasuke is Dr. Perv, who's honestly, I don't know. I guess we could start there. I knew this guy was like already part of like evil organization, whatever. But I thought he was going to be like one of those like sort of benign, oh, I just really like science, I don't care how I do it, you know, whatever. But I'm actually thinking he might be like actually like an actual bad guy at some point.
Wait. Are we talking about Daedalus?
Yeah, whatever his name is. The perv who's...
Oh yeah, he like totally gives me the creeps.
Yeah, because like he's just, I don't know if he's got like a voyeur thing or something, but he's just like watching childhood videos of Rel. I mean, that's just really creepy on a number of levels. So I'm not going to be surprised if he turns out to be a weirdo.
I get the feeling that he's had basically like a childhood crush on her, and it kind of grew into sort of like a weird obsession.
Oh yeah, he's a stalker.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
So
he gives me those kind of like vibes too. Like he definitely has a crush on her, like for sure.
Yeah. But he's taking it to a weird level.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dr. Sasuke is a creep. How are we feeling about everything else that happened? What did for those of you who are just joining, you know, there's probably going to be spoilers during this, so just heads up on that. So the city's not an airship like I thought at the end of episode 3. It's a dome place, and I guess he just came out of the top of it. How he survived that fall, I don't know. Probably because he's a proxy or whatever. But yeah, but still, it's pretty high up. I mean, it looked like Cloud City in the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we
Also, okay, so first thing, and this is just kind of a thing that I caught rewatching it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna send you guys a picture because I was like,
I will
what
include it in the thing.
Hang on. Sending it now.
All right.
You're gonna have to crop some stuff out of it, but...
Oh, I'm sure I am. I'm gonna have to edit quite a bit. So.
Okay, so I send it to you guys.
Is it over
Look at
Discord
his
or
eye
is it the messenger? Okay.
Yeah, it's in Messenger.
All right.
I've circled in yellow his eye color on the documentation.
Blue.
Yeah, it says blue.
What is his
eyes are
actual
green.
eye color?
Green.
I don't know.
So-
Maybe they changed. Who knows?
I'm not sure.
It's either
to be
just a
honest.
mistake, a translation issue, someone just wrote it wrong, or, you know, they were
Well-
blue and now they're not. I mean, I would have to, like, I don't know if, like, we should go back to episode 1 and try to look for them, because his eyes are closed most of the time anyway.
The thing
But-
is like, as far as there's some stuff coming up with, well,
Well, don't
as they've-
spoil it.
no, actually, first couple these episodes, you've actually already been revealed this little part
What part?
of what a proxy can do.
Yeah, they can jump around and kill people, and Hoodie Dude was saying something about, oh, they can summon lightning and all sorts of other crap, but he's quite frankly
They can
full of crap.
basically possess someone's spirit.
Yeah.
Was another thing.
Yeah, but that was again a thing said by Liar Dude, who like just seems like he makes up everything he says on the spot anyway. So
Yeah,
It's
like,
possible. I'm not saying it's not. And there was definitely a proxy thing jumped out whenever Vincent fell off a cliff. But I don't. It's like I'm gonna take everything that dude said with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
okay.
So I have no doubt, and based on everything the way you're saying, oh, I guarantee you now it's like every time you say something dirty game, it's like, oh, so this is what's gonna happen. All right.
Yep.
It's like you want so bad not to say anything, but we know.
I know, but then there is that other thing when you say translation, because there is this thing in, I guess for some shades of like blue and green in Japan, like some shades of green are still considered blues.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. You know, you could have like what's
It's-
turquoise? I don't know.
That's,
Is it blue? Is it green? It could be anything. I mean, they clearly
blue.
look very green to me, but
turquoise look green to you?
no, Vincent's eyes.
Oh yeah, no.
Or am I thinking of something else? What's blue green?
Aqua?
Yeah, that
Like-
or
like,
something.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of those like cross things. Teal?
Yeah.
Or teal.
Yeah,
Teal.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
His eyes look green.
Yeah.
yeah, they're very green.
I-
But
I
yeah,
just thought that was like funny.
yeah, that was weird. I'll grant you that. That's weird. But we got to see outside the dome and all the people living out there doing their
Yep.
thing, and then they all died. So I guess
Yep,
most of them
that.
died. I guess they're not all dead. Like by the end of this, they're all sailing away on their little land ship, whatever
Yeah,
that thing
rabbit
is.
thing.
Yeah,
after-
the rabbit.
The rabbit, right.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of dead kids in this show, too.
Poor Timothy.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I was
It's like-
upset for Pino.
Yeah.
Man.
she's
Vito
like-
had a heck of a
she's
3
like-
episodes.
She was like, where? She's like, where is he? They're like, he's dead, Pino.
It's like
But
she's
she's
learning about
like-
creativity, death, grief.
And the thing is like, in that way, it shows like how machines are kind of like children. They don't necessarily understand concepts like death, which I thought was a very
Yeah.
interesting thing to do.
It's certainly interesting. I'm interested to see where they go with her and whether she'll, see what happens if she becomes human or something, or whatever facsimile thereof. But, yeah, that's something. I do have a thought, because, it's like, there was, a bunch of disease or whatever was out there, and that's why Rel got all, oh no, I can't breathe.
Right.
I have to wonder if, I'm sure there were viruses and stuff, but, I started wondering if, it's just a case of, they've been in that dome so long and been, surrounded by so much, disinfectant and just general healthy stuff that their immune system's never built up anything. So they're yeah.
I honestly was very concerned. I'm like, the air quality out there is pretty bad. Vincent himself is already from outside the dome. So,
Well,
who
he's
knows
not,
what the air quality was like when he got there?
Yeah, but
from where
he's,
from.
still relatively a young guy, and they're calling him an immigrant because he's, from, a lost dome. I remember them mentioning something about that.
Yeah.
So it's, some other place. So, he might have been on a transport thing that had that purified air, recycled whatever. So he might not have actually been outside before.
Well, yeah,
I think it's at least a possibility in regard to that. But
because he was like, "There's a world outside."
yeah,
He seemed.
I think it was more just he was surprised that people were living out there.
yeah, but people
That,
were living out there, so it's it's a livable environment for the most part. You just have to be able to handle it, and I'm wondering if maybe most people could handle it if they actually went outside and developed some got a cold every now and then. I don't know. It's just a thought, and they also don't seem to know how vaccines work. Because I remember in school them telling us vaccines work by you inject this, it prevents you from getting sick. I don't know how a vaccine's gonna help Rel if she's already sick. And they're like, here, I have a vaccine. I'm like, do you mean a cure? An antidote?
Yeah,
Like,
I think they mean an antidote.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't real anyway, so whatever. But yeah. We got introduced to a lady named Quinn, and then Quinn died. Right after we got introduced to Timothy, and he died.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got introduced to Hootie, and then...
Hootie died.
Well, we don't see it, but yeah, he's probably dead.
It's insinuated.
Yeah. A lot of death. And a lot of people who don't seem to care about death, because, like, what's-his-face? Didn't his wife die a week ago, along with his newborn child? And he's just, like, this is the next day, he just goes to work, he's like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing.
Oh.
Well, he's still angry about it. He's still angry at that proxy for just coming in and destroying everything. Because he addresses that incident as that proxy with the ugly face when he's, like, in the elevator and he's punching the wall.
Yeah, I'm like, I just did, like, wow, you just lost some loved ones. I'm like, you're pretty cold. You're able to just, like, keep that all.
Well, I think that was part of, like, what they were saying about him, too, is I think his Autoreeve even, like, said to him, like, Christiva, I think is her name, even, like, said to him, like, you're showing more emotion than you usually do. And, like, basically being like,
I mean, I would,
wow.
he's honestly not showing a ton to me, but.
He's a very composed person.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if, like, it feels like they're trying to set him up to be the bad guy, but again, I think the real bad guy's probably going to be, well, I think Granddad's dead still, so that's my opinion, but, yeah, I feel like Creepy Dr. Sasuke is going to turn out to be the bad guy or something.
He's probably going to be at least one of them.
Yeah,
that's just
without
a
doubt.
guess.
He's like, we're gonna be like, oh, he was an unwitting accomplice, but nope, he was totally complacent in all the bad stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be so many bad things that they're gonna uncover. Because that's just the way that these shows go.
The thing is like when he looked at, like, basically he looked off screen with, like, that smirk on his face. I'm like, he's pulling more strings here than he actually seems to be.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
Knew, like, about that proxy being there. Like,
I mean, he knew about all the proxies. He was there whenever the thing, like, just just jumped
like,
out. So,
but, like, Riel, like, when she was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, don't tell anyone about this, okay?" And it was just like, and she was like, you know about this, you know something you're not telling me. And he just, like, didn't really say anything, and it was like, yeah.
I mean, that's not necessarily a red flag for me, because, like, he does work for the government, and the government's trying to keep something quiet. I think he was trying to help her in the best way that he could without like getting everyone to come after him for, like, spilling the beans.
Well, there's another thing with that as well.
I mean, I agree. I was just saying that might also contribute to him being bad. Like, I'm not for certain that information.
Here's another thing. Like, his Autoreeves, they
Creepy?
basically aren't being monitored. Like, he's basically
I didn't see
turned
anything
off all
about
those
that.
settings.
You might be giving us more information than we have.
No, that is in, like, episode 6 or 5. One of the two.
All right.
Go back and watch it. Like, he's saying,
you're pouring
you
over
can
this
talk.
series.
It's like, he's telling Riel, you
okay.
can tell me anything. They can't hear you.
I thought that he just turned him off for a minute.
No. Like, basically,
I mean, like, that seems like a very convenient... Because, like, Rel does the same thing with Iggy for a while, where she's just like, yeah, turn off your personality for a minute. I'm kind of sick of it.
But that thing, though, he's still monitoring various things, like how she can't look up Proxy back in, like, episode 3?
Yeah.
But, yeah, he like, they're not being monitored by the government.
All right,
His
well,
Proxy.
hey, that's...
His Autoreeves.
So he's a bad guy. I think we're pretty much covered on that. Like, as soon as we started seeing him, again, creepy stalker Sasuke, pulling that... Hey, you know what I'm into? Watching you when you're 5. Jesus.
But then I'm also wondering, where did he get all that camera feed from?
Oh, he's hooked into something. He got something. We know he's bad.
Maybe it was the grandfather's like memories. Like if the grandfather is dead, like
That's
who's
still
to
what
say,
I
like,
bet.
Well,
like
the thing is why is it all coming from the floor?
What is what? You kind of broke
Like,
up
the
a little
thing
bit.
is like the angles of where the videos are being taken from, they're all like coming
Yeah.
from like sort of ground level.
Yeah, which makes me think, well, the baby one was probably a nanny cam or something, but like it could have been him when he was a kid or whatever.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
still, where'd you get the nanny cam footage? That's just weird.
It's all just uploaded into the system.
All right.
I mean,
It's
think
all
about it
just-
this way: with how their
yeah.
government is, like,
To be-
I wouldn't be surprised if like every single thing of surveillance footage is just all stored up in their database.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know that any of that footage was him watching it. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I must have missed something, because when you brought that up, Al, that was the first time, like, I realized that, because
That's a fair point.
I just thought the creators were showing us, like,
I mean, it's possible someone else was
flashbacks.
looking at it, but I think it was like we saw that footage and then we watched him doing something. So to me, it was kind of saying like that it was him watching.
There were
But-
timestamps on that, so
Okay.
that's
Yeah, I
how I
didn't-
assumed it was footage.
I didn't
Well, yeah.
catch on.
Well, we know it's footage, but like, who was watching the footage? Was it Dr. Sasuke?
Yes, because it came up on his computer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like
Yeah,
it shows the
must've
footage and then
just-
shows him looking at a screen. I'm like, yeah.
I must have just not been paying that much attention, because I missed that part completely.
Okay.
But I guess
Hey,
that's
maybe
why
I'm
we
wrong.
talk
Maybe
about
you're right, and it
this,
was
so.
just cut from what some other people were looking at or doing.
Oh
or
no, I'm
whatever,
not trying to
so.
make a point. I was just
I'm
saying.
saying
that
you could be right. I don't know. The show has a lot of mystery and noir kind of detective story thing. So for all we know, things are going to be twisting and turning all over the place. And again, right now I am thinking Granddad's dead and Dr. Sasuke's the bad guy and here's the other bad guy. But like, it could make a heel turn and just turn it all around. I mean, we're it was episode 6 or like 24 episodes. We're like a quarter of the way through. I mean, this is like the
unless
end
you're
of the
Chibs.
first act, really. So
Unless you're Chibs and you.
yeah, unless you watch
watched
the whole
it.
thing in one night or whatever.
I haven't watched all of it. I've
Okay.
just watched
Okay.
over half of it.
Okay, all right, just more than us. We get it. That's okay, but yeah. Speaking of like just how like long certain things goes, like I've noticed a couple spots where like the animation kind of drops out a little bit, which I kind of was expecting to happen.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Like there's that one cut of Riel's face, and she's just sitting there on the bed looking up at the ceiling, and she's just the
Yeah,
eyes.
it's just
just
something
get
that's
me
just
every
off.
time.
Yeah. It's like sometimes it just like goes up in quality. It honestly, like I probably mentioned this last week, but like it reminds me of like the art style a little bit from like Ghost in the Shell, the movie from 1995, and
Yeah.
like how it like kind of like the not necessarily like softer features, but like the blending and all sorts of like stuff with like a shadow and light and the shading and everything it's very artistic. It looks like it's a movie. Like you spent all your
Right.
budget on like that, like a movie quality stuff. And I'm realizing, yeah, you're not going to have that the whole time, unfortunately.
Oh,
So,
no.
like, the fact that they had it
There's-
for most of the first 3 episodes is probably a really good thing, because that definitely hooked me.
Oh yeah.
But
Like I know for like and I've watched a lot of anime. You
Yeah.
can tell what episode like got most of the budget. It's
Oh,
mostly
yeah.
the beginning and the end.
Yeah, and I feel like right now, like, again, we're about a quarter way through the show, so it's like the end of the first act right now. So, yeah, those last 3 episodes, like, the first 3 episodes, I'm not going to say, like, super intense, but
No.
they're very intriguing, and they keep you very involved, and I think that's why they spent most of the early budget for the series. And like we're in kind of like a let's take a breather moment, kind of like slow down and examine some stuff. Even though I feel like a lot of the stuff we were examining really had nothing to do with like the overall plot.
No.
I'm like looking
Most
at it
of
as
what
like
we were looking at was just kind of like just sort of like other elements that are outside of the
Yeah.
world that they've already introduced to us. And just
Yeah.
kind of...
And that's kind of nice to see, but at the same time, it's like we were there for 3 episodes, and now it's got nothing to do with anything anymore because we're leaving for somewhere else. Like the only thing we really got out of that was was the boat to go to wherever the plot is actually at.
And to get super attached to characters that we only knew for 3 episodes, and then at least 2 of them or 3 of them are dead.
Yeah, I'm a veteran of Game of Thrones books and TV, so that doesn't bug me at all anymore. I'm completely desensitized. Plus, I'm a veteran of Doki Doki at this point, so I'm not. You think killing people off is gonna bug me anymore? You're wrong.
Sure, we'll see
So.
about that.
Yeah, you know, I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna be bad. Like we'll see what happens whenever we play it again. But yeah, so. Well, so there was other stuff I wanted to talk about. What did I want to talk about? What else do you guys want to talk about? Give me a minute to think about this.
What'd you guys think about Quinn?
Quinn seemed cool.
She seemed really badass. I
Yeah.
think, like, she definitely is someone who can really keep her shit together.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, I felt so bad for her with Timothy.
Yeah.
And
Another parent who doesn't seem super bothered when their kid dies.
well, everyone grieves and processes grief differently.
Yeah, except for these
So-
two who process it pretty much the same way.
I felt like she was like angry and like
Yeah.
That's
yeah. I'm making
kinda-
light of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she was far more angry, but she kept her anger, like, sort of below the surface, but not really.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
she was
when she-
shooting like at
Shooting.
things.
And then she kind of, like, was very nasty with Riel. Like,
well, I mean,
basically
it's a
knocking
lady
her
coming
over
from
and she's sick.
like a place that you hate or whatever.
No, and I get that, but still, it's like, don't shove someone down when they're not feeling very well. Don't be a bitch.
I don't think it was really about her so much as like she was trying to get something out of Vincent. So
I don't know, which was just weird and like why did she want Vincent to come with her so bad?
she knew something about him, whether it's like he's a proxy or something. She just knew there was something like about that guy that's like they were gonna need him going out into the Badlands, wilderness, wherever they're going. So, you know, it kind of reminded me of, and like it's not a perfect comparison, but like kind of reminded me a little bit of like Cowboy Bebop. How like you just go down to a random planet and then you meet all these people, and suddenly like you become really attached to them. Like you pretty much know their characters despite only knowing them for like 15 minutes, and then you just leave. Which is like which I've seen done again mostly in Bebop, but in a couple other shows, and it's difficult. So I give them the writers and like the team behind the show credit for being able to, you know, get us invested in people that we've known for such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's any questions I had, because there were points where I was confused.
About what?
Like,
Yes, ask the one who knows the future.
well, it was like, I guess when it showed Vincent falling for like a second time, I guess that's when like Riel was actually there, like with him,
Yeah.
and he like fell, and it showed something like the proxy, I think it was. Like,
Yeah, it like jumped up and she's like, "What's this doing here?" And I'm like,
yeah, and I was.
"Probably
I
came
was
out of
like,
him or whatever. I don't know."
Right, yeah, and so I
We
was
know
just
they're
like-
connected. If that thing didn't kill him, we know they're connected somehow.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure, like, is that why he was okay? Like, it saved him? Like, is that what happened?
I didn't think of that, but that's a possibility. It didn't look like that far of a fall.
Do you want me to respond?
No.
Not if it's a
No,
spoiler.
I don't think we do. I don't think we want you to respond, Chibs.
I'm like, don't ask me this question. Do you want a response to this?
I'm guessing it was either it saved him or it came out of him. It's his guardian spirit or something. I don't know.
Well,
It's
then he's
it's
also
you know
still
what?
down in the water. So
You know
then
what?
do you think?
Gav, the epoxy, the proxy is his stand. He's a JoJo character now.
Okay, I can accept that answer.
I mean, we saw him.
He's
You see
wearing
him.
the goofy clothes anyway.
He's got the goofy clothes. He was posing up a storm in the opening. I still love the opening, by the way. He's like kind of like doing all that. Yeah, he's definitely a JoJo character. Does that sound like a JoJo name? Vincent Law.
Yeah.
It does. God.
Yeah. Yeah. Put him in part 20. We're in the future and there's domes everywhere. Oh, I don't know. Hey, maybe I should go to Japan. I'll write the next chapter.
What other questions do we have?
I don't know. I'm not really in a question mood at this point in the series because I feel like the main questions were set up in like episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
Mainly episodes 1 and 2, I think. And now it's the journey to getting to where the answers are. Because, like, again, this is the end of the first act. Now we have to figure out what happens with the problems that were developed in the first act throughout the second and third act. So,
Right.
yeah. So my questions are still kind of the same. What are the proxies? What's Vincent got to do with them? What does Riel have to do with them? You know, is Grandpa dead? The only new question really is like whenever they're like you're from another Dome City, a lost Dome City or something. I'm like, okay, how many are out there? But that's more of just like a general world building question
How
more than
many
anything
more
else.
are out there?
Yeah. Don't answer that question. I feel like you already know the answer. Don't answer that question.
Yeah, I do. I do know that question.
Yeah, and you know what? I think there's a bunch more. Just the way you said it is just like, oh, we're gonna go to like every domed city now. We're gonna go to domed Los Angeles, and we're gonna go to domed Tokyo, and all sorts of other wherever else there was a domed city across the wasteland. We're going there. It's Ergo Proxy World Tour, or what was third season of JoJo? What was that? Stardust Crusaders?
What?
Am I thinking
Diamond
of that right?
Unbreakable?
Which one was it?
Diamond is Forever?
Diamonds is Forever.
Diamond is
Yeah.
Unbreakable. Is Unbreakable.
Diamond is Unbreakable. Yeah, we're going. See, everything comes back to JoJo eventually. Speaking of kind of a segue, I did want to talk about like I like the kind of show that this is, in that I don't think we get to see many of them anymore, and like you know how nowadays it's always like everything is very seasonal. You can't always guarantee like everything it gets 12 episodes and then we just move on, and I don't feel like a lot of anime nowadays are like this, and this is just kind of a product of like the time that it was made in, is that it's like it's a little more contemplative, I think, and
Yeah.
like it's got kind of I kind of miss that sort of like 90s mid 2000s kind of era anime where you can kind of just sit and think about certain things. Like you usually had 24 episodes to do a full thing, and you didn't have to be like, well, we don't know if we're going to go to season 2, another 12 episodes, blah blah blah. I'm like, this might be like the start of like a more in-depth discussion later, but like I kind of feel like anime nowadays has kind of turned into
Cash
it kind of
grab.
has not just not necessarily just cash grab, but like just the way like that it's all turned out. It's starting to feel
continued.
well, not that. I mean, it's starting to feel like memes to me. Like, and how I mean that is like, back when I was in high school or whatever, I saw memes, but they were around for a while because it's like just for whatever reason. Now, a meme that you see today is completely gone tomorrow. No one gives a crap about it anymore. And that kind of feels like what anime is starting to become a little bit
So
nowadays. It's
I think I know what you're saying.
as soon as the
There will
season's
be, like-
over, what is that anime? I've never even heard of it anymore.
Yeah, there will be like a hot show on. and
It's
then,
hot
like,
for 15 minutes, and then it's
Yeah.
gone forever. And I think
It'll
that's
be like-
kind of sad.
Yeah, it'll be like hot when the iron strikes, and then like people go.
But it's like there's so much out there that it's like everyone just as soon as it's done, we're gone, we're moving on.
It's like as soon as they finish up a season, like if there isn't any like leftover episodes to pour into like the spring season of anime in Japan, like no one's talking about it. Because that's honestly like what they do with a lot of shows. Is just like they make something really good that looks really, really cute. And then poof.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is like I'd be willing to like talk about this like at length at another time, but like yeah, and I kind of miss like because this is from 2006, and it's reflective of that. I think is like that you had stuff like Code Geass and like Death Note and some of these anime that like you could sit and think about a little bit more because like and like it would capture people a little bit more and hang on to them a little bit better. And like I just don't I don't know that we're gonna have that many of those in the future.
Probably not.
I could be wrong. Things could change. I've been wrong about so many things in my life that I could be very wrong about this. But
well, I mean, Madoka Magica was one of those animes that came out like
that's almost 10 years old now.
2011? I'm trying to remember.
It was 2010. It's almost 10 years old now. That's actually when you think about it, it's kind of far removed from nowadays a little bit. I mean, this is even older, the show that we're watching, but like yeah, I was seeing even back in like 2011, 2012, things were starting to like really ramp up into let's just churn stuff out like
what shows came out at around that time? I'm trying to even remember.
Like, Madoka came out then. I think Tiger and Bunny was around that time, in that general 2 to 3 year area.
I'm just trying to remember, like
the last
cosplays were bigger.
Because I remember.
I think honestly for me, and granted, JoJo is gonna permeate everything for a while, so I don't even count that in this particular argument. Like the last big fandom thing, at least to me, was like One Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
That I thought everyone was talking. Maybe Yuri on Ice that everyone was talking about. But like the last 2 or 3 years, I haven't really heard everyone talking about anything longer than what it was on TV for.
Well,
Fairy Tail was around for a long time.
That was a while ago, though.
Unless they have seasons that keep coming out of stuff like BNHA.
Free?
No, like BNHA.
BNHA?
Yeah, that thing stays in the zeitgeist because it's on TV still. But if that thing stopped, would people talk about it the next day? That's my question. I don't know if it would for sure. Yeah, that thing went away, and I still haven't watched the 3rd season.
I haven't.
That was the biggest friggin' anime in the world, and it's gone basically now.
I didn't watch the 2nd season because Chip spoiled it for me.
Did I?
Yeah, because you were reading the manga and you were you were like, here's what happens, and I was like, hey, thanks. Now I don't need to watch it ever again.
Yeah, I read ahead a little bit too. I'm a bit in the same boat. But I mean, to be fair, I think they could have come out with it a little bit faster than they did.
And then, the thing is season 2, I think season 2, didn't it only have, 12, 13 episodes?
Yeah, because it's in that area of, hey, we're only going to make things don't exist past a season.
And then, I think they actually caught up with season 3 where I was in the manga. I haven't bothered to watch it.
From what I've seen, because I haven't bothered to watch it either, but, I think they're catching up a lot.
Okay.
But that just makes me think to myself, oh, so it's going to be another 5 or 6 years. Because, I mean, if what they were doing was, waiting for the manga to get ahead of them, that way they didn't actually, catch up to it and have to, just come up with some random stuff to fill the filler or whatever. I get that. Yeah, or insert show name here. But
I remember what was popular the same time as Madoka.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go
yeah, but
talking.
they definitely waited way too long on that. That's the main of it.
Yeah.
If you wait a year, that's fine. Wait a year, whatever. People are willing to wait for that. You waited 5 years, or so before you.
Tokyo Ghoul was popular when Madoka was.
Oh, okay.
I know because I cosplayed Nagisa Momoe one day, and then I cosplayed like Tsukiyama Shu the next
Oh
day.
yeah, I remember that.
Never really got into that show.
I didn't either.
I'm gonna get flack for that.
Same.
They have a rabid fandom.
That's okay. I jumped out of that hole, so.
Oh, so guess who else is getting hit in the comments?
But
Yeah. We've gotten a little off topic.
It's
but-
fine. It's okay.
I don't know. We could table this and re-explore this on another day. We have anything else to say about Ergo Proxy? Other than our missed year, the years that we miss of older anime? I don't know. We're waxing nostalgic a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, not really. I can't really think of anything to really talk about because no one wants
Because
to
you're
hear
gonna
what I have
spoil
to say.
everything. Yeah, you're gonna spoil everything for us.
I feel like there's not a whole lot that, like, can be talked about with these episodes, like,
Yeah, not a
besides
lot
for...
happened this time around.
I mean, it's like it did, but it's not something that's, like, discussable, really.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like some stuff happened. What are the
Oh.
larger implications?
Yeah.
There's not a lot right now. So,
And, yeah, I feel like if anyone is, like, watching it along with us or decides to, like, start watching it, to like, after hearing this, they'll...
well, they're
know
gonna get
what we
spoiled,
mean.
so...
Sorry.
Unless we just start talking about other things while we're supposed to be talking about
Do you
this.
just want to bleep out my words?
I'm gonna
No
bleep out every
spoilers,
word that you
Chibs.
have. Every word, Chibs. They're all gonna be gone.
I'm gonna, like, next series we watch, I'm gonna, like, monitor your, like, laptop so that you can't jump ahead.
Wow.
Well, this is my problem. Is like I literally just put it on the dub, and I was doing other things while I had it on. So I was just kind
Yeah,
of
you just
like
get ahead of yourself
listening
after
and
a while.
going back and forth while I was doing chores around my apartment. And so I was like, oh, I'm already like so far ahead.
Yeah,
Whoops.
I do the same thing with
problem-
like podcasts and stuff. I blow through like 2 or 3 of them in a day, just doing things.
The problem is you don't have Kingdom Hearts 3 to keep you busy
I
yet.
know! Someone needs to buy me a frickin' PS4 so I can play it.
Because that's why I haven't been binging, is because I've been playing Kingdom Hearts 3, so...
I never got into the
want
series, so I don't have that
I
problem.
wanna play it so badly.
But, yeah, I don't know. I liked Quinn's character while she was with us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Pino was cute as always.
I love Pino. She's still my fave.
And Chibs might cosplay Pino now.
Maybe. Potentially. I don't know. I'm thinking
I'd be
about
fine doing
it.
an Ergo Proxy thing if we go to a
Can
convention
we
or something.
please? I would like that.
Alright. We can see what happens. I'm the tallest. I think I should be the proxy.
That would work.
That would be so
It's mostly just I drape a cruddy blanket over me and put on a mask. It seems about all I need to do.
But yeah, you know, it's
I'll say this: it was weird to see Rel without her hyper goth makeup on.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I almost didn't recognize her.
That is a mood.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's about it.
Yeah. I
So,
can't think of anything to say.
episodes 7 through 9 for next week, and we'll discuss that and figure out where we're going from there. So we're still definitely continuing on. We're gonna see this one to the end. I think we're all pretty clear on that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, did we do yay or nay? Yay?
Oh, it's a
Yay.
yeah. I think we're
Yeah.
definitely like. I'm waiting. I don't know how long we're gonna do this, or like if this is gonna like catch on. But like if it does, I'm waiting for like that one show where it's just like we're recording
Bombs.
it and like 3 or 4 episodes. Someone's just like, I'm not watching any more of it. You guys can keep discussing it. I'm just out. And then like I don't know what we're gonna do then. Either they're just not gonna show up to do the podcast, or they're just gonna sit there and listen to all of us talk about whatever else while they're just like, I got no input. I still hate episodes 1 through 3.
Just cackling in the background while you guys talk about whatever.
Yeah. I was almost on someone at our, back when we were in school at the university was like, they wanted to do like a Sword Art Online podcast.
No.
And I volunteered to be part of it because I'm not a big fan. I think there's some good episodes. I think there's some good stuff in the series, but I'm not a fan of the overall product because it's just, yeah.
Like,
but that was like, hey, do you want me to come on? I will, because like he was a guy who was definitely a fanboy, and I think he wanted like 2 other people on the podcast who were like fans, and they were just gonna gush over it. I'm like, I'd be a lot more interested in listening to one person who's really into it and one person who's just not at all, and they're just going back and forth.
Right. Like,
but,
the
yeah.
thing with
I don't actually know if
thing
you
with
ever
the
actually
series,
went through with
it was, like, started off fine. You get to, like, episode 3 or something, and there's just a bunch of filler in there, and I was just like, why is this here? I don't care about this. Get back to the plot. Please.
The abridged series is better. They did the show better than the show did. Have you guys watched that one?
No.
I'll watch it. It's way better. They give Kirito an actual character.
Ugh, good.
Like, you think I'm joking. It is genuinely Sword Art Online Abridged is just genuinely a better version of Sword Art Online. But yeah, we're getting off topic again. There was not a lot to talk about in these episodes.
Nope.
And yet, this is actually longer than the first one we did.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Probably, I wonder how much of that is our talking about other anime.
Probably about half.
Probably a good
I'll find out. I'll probably
least.
put the final tally for like minutes talked on subject and off subject. But yeah.
Just keep a counter up in the corner.
Yeah, why not? All right. I think that's about it. We're gonna continue watching this and see where it goes. Alrighty then, we'll see you guys, or you guys will listen, or whatever next week, I guess.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.